In fact, Liberal MP Luke Howarth joins me. Luke, good to see you. Thanks so much for your time today. How's the by-election campaign going in Longman? You know this area better than most. Do you think you've got Labor's measure?
Look, I think it's going to be close. I wouldn't predict one way or the other which way the people of Longman will vote. But I can say that Trevor Ruthenberg, Big Trev as he's known, and the Coalition are working very hard. We've had quite a few ministerial visits up there with Trevor Ruthenberg. But he's really focusing on local issues important to the people of Longman, whether it's ice addiction or local roads or apprenticeships. He's very much focused on local issues there and working hard. So I think he's in with a good chance, and I think the people of Longman are rightly concerned about some of Labor's policies that you just spoke about.
Well, health and hospitals is a big issue, as it always is in any by-election or major general election campaign. Bill Shorten has just challenged Malcolm Turnbull to get out of his ivory tower and engage in a leaders' debate in health, on health in the seat of Braddon next week. Should he do it?
Well, I think the Prime Minister would be happy to debate Bill Shorten any time. The fact is that Malcolm Turnbull's often in my electorate. He's been up into Longman 3 times, I think, recently. He's often out and about. We heard he was out in regional Queensland recently as well. Everything that Bill Shorten says is really a lot of bluff. I mean, you talk about health. He was caught out in 2016 specifically lying about Medicare, saying that we would sell it, when the fact is that Medicare has never been in a stronger position with bulk billing rates. He was also caught out recently in Longman talking about the fact that you had to go to Brisbane in order to get cancer treatments, when in Redcliffe, right in my electorate in Petrie, you can actually get treatment at the Redcliffe Hospital. So he's got a track record of not telling the truth, and I think Malcolm Turnbull as Prime Minister has his measure and should be happy to debate him anytime.
Well, the Medicare campaign was so effective at the last general election. What is the Coalition doing differently this time to what it did then? And I mean, if Malcolm Turnbull is happy to run on his record, he should really step up and accept this challenge for a debate, shouldn't he?
Well, he'll do what he decides is best. We don't take campaign advice from the Leader of the Opposition and dance to his tune. The Prime Minister will do what he thinks is best for the people of Longman, Mayo, Braddon, wherever it is. But yes, you're right. They were caught out last time with this Mediscare lie, and we're tackling that head on. And when I hear opposition members not telling the truth, then I'll call it out. We hear it so often from Bill Shorten and the Deputy Leader of the Labor Party, Tanya Plibersek, and all their frontbench ministers saying that health has been cut, that education has been cut. And the fact is, Laura, nothing could be further from the truth. Because of the strong record that we've had with jobs growth, the economy's never been stronger since the Howard years, and more of that money that we're receiving in income tax is going into essential services like health, like aged care, like education, like the Defence Force, and these issues. So we're tackling that scare campaign head on, and Australians are sick and tired of the lies. You know, they want politicians that are going to tell the truth, and that's what I endeavour to do every day of the week, and what we'll be calling out any fibs when we see it.
I know you get around your constituents and speak to them quite often. What are they telling you about energy? Do they want to see more of an emphasis on coal? Do they want to see a new coal-fired power station? What are they saying to you?
Well, they're saying they want power prices lower. That's the number one issue, whether it's businesses, small businesses under 10 million turnover or businesses above. A lot of it is about power prices. And thankfully, there's been a little bit of relief recently. I've been talking to pensioners in my electorate where power bills have actually come down slightly, which I welcome. But it's something that both the government and the opposition, the parliament as a whole, whether it's members of parliament like myself or senators, they should be focused on the end result for people, and they want lower power prices. But certainly, I don't think people widely in my electorate are opposed to coal. They can see, yes, we're naturally moving to new technology, whether it's solar, wind or hydro, but it must have storage. And once again, it was the Prime Minister that spoke about storage and has put that right on the national radar. But we also know in Queensland that coal and gas is important. And frankly, in Queensland, we're playing our fair share. It's the southern states that aren't, investing in gas in particular, and that's leaving the rest of the country high and dry. So I'd say to the southern premiers, get your act together and start actually looking at jobs and looking at energy costs and make sure you're using your resources sustainably there, like Queensland's doing, which is important.
But you're technology agnostic. If there is a better way to do this, a cheaper way, and perhaps renewables with battery storage isn't quite there yet, but would that be better than building a new coal-fired power station?
Well, I'm happy either way if the government says, and if Anastasia Palaszczuk, who owns 90% of the power wholesale generation in Queensland, wants to upgrade a power station to a new coal one, I'd be happy for her to do that. But we know that she and the federal opposition have unrealistic 50% renewables targets, which is rushed, and that's the issue. We're actually going about it in a decent manner where we want to meet the agreements we've signed up internationally, but we're focused on price. We're focused on reliability, and we're focused on the consumers and the people in our electorate, and that's important. So I think the trick is here, Laura, is not to use it as a political weapon, which is what Labor love to do. It's all about politics with Labor. We're about the people. I'm about the people, and we can move to this new technology and still use coal, gas, whatever it is that we're currently using as well.
Luke Howarth, good to speak to you. We'll speak to you, no doubt, in the lead up to the Super Saturday by-election and on the other side as well. Thanks so much.
Not long to go. Thanks for having me.